been quite a few years ago. I was probably about 11 when I first tried alcohol. So I just started getting into stuff, stealing, lying. About the same time, I started hanging with the older kids. About 13, I started smoking pot. This was in the early 70s. About the same time, I started trying other drugs. There was a lot of acid and different kind of drugs. Just, almost people gave them away. All kind of different drugs. So quit school. Ended up, just trying to work. Began going in and out of jail, in and out of jail, in and out of jobs. I got out of prison in the 80s, got married. That didn't work. In 1986, I got divorced and ended up on the streets, really on the streets, homeless for the first time in my life. I was also introduced to crack cocaine then, so that took me some places I'd never been, like under the bridge. And it wasn't long before I just was embarrassed to be around my family, so I left Georgia. I went to New Orleans first and then to Dallas in the early 90s. I spent the next 10 years under the bridge, in and out of jail on little misdemeanor stuff. I was one of those real under the bridge type with the beard and the 3-4 sets of clothes and pushing the shopping cart. Had me a little camp under one bridge and another camp in the woods. After a few years, I started getting real paranoid about people, not trusting people. And I had a mental illness that hadn't been diagnosed at that time. Looking back at it, I don't see how anybody could live like that. I stayed numb most of the time to the situation because, I'd stop and think a few times, when's the last time I had a bath? And couldn't remember, and I know sometimes it was a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before I went into a shelter or, came up on some money and then got into a motel for the night or something, And it was, and the bugs and it was just, you're out there. You're against the elements. Once you lay yourself down at night, you're subject to all kind of stuff. I got beat in the head with a baseball bat one time. That's why I just started just staying away from people. And then in 2006, I got arrested with some other people in an abandoned building. And I told the police I had been the one to break in it and invited them in. So they charged me with burglary of a building. I was tired of living like that. I was really tired of living like that. I'd known Christ as a child, and I know he brought me through a lot of stuff, and I knew all that. I knew that without a doubt. But something told me at that time that was it. It was over. That I didn't have to live like that no more. I asked my lawyer, can I get some kind of rehab? Can I get some kind of help instead of just going to prison? Because I'd been to state jail one time, and they just opened the door and let you out, And so they said, yeah, they finally talked about it, and they said, yeah, you can sign this 5 years probation, and stipulations are going to be that you go to this substance abuse felony punishment program. Well, I knew that I would have to come to a halfway house for 3 months. That was part of the program. And then you do another 6 months aftercare. And they told me I could go to this Salvation Army, I could go to this other place. And I didn't really know nothing about the other place, but I knew Salvation Army. Being a whole person means that your needs are taken care of. The basic needs, your spirituality is a part of that circle, with that part out, then it's going to be lopsided or something. And it's like we learned when we were children, if you got a hole in your heart, if you feel like something's missing, that's what it is, it's that spiritual part of your program or your spiritual part of your life. Well, they provided me with clothes. They provide you with some clothes when you first get here. And then if you don't have family, they gave me a voucher. My family's in Georgia. So they give me a voucher to go down to the thrift store And that was like, I got a nice, I'm still wearing clothes I got here. Everything I got is from Salvation Army. When I got ready to go to work, we were having job readiness classes downstairs, and we have people come in for uh, credit, consumer credit counseling. We have somebody from a staffing service come in, help us they do a resume for us, and then they, give us referrals. We go to TWC, Project Rio, get bus passes. They give us bus passes here to go around to all these places. They have a computer lab downstairs that helped us get in and get you an email and start sending out some of these resumes. Well, I'm getting back to the old John, the one that the 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old, hey, look at me, John. I don't have to be that under the bridge John no more. I don't have to run from life. I don't have to run and hide no more. That fear is gone. The fear of facing life every day on life's terms is gone. I got that here. I got that here watching people, seeing people come back and share that went through the same thing, seeing people that work here that I know that have been through the same thing. If I hadn't have come here, I wouldn't have seen all this. I love what the Salvation Army has done for me. This is my life. It's been my life for a long time.